Kizuna Ai is widely regarded as the godmother of VTubers, being that she played a massive part in popularizing the now multi-million-dollar industry. However, things would take a dark turn when she'd announced her indefinite hiatus in early December 2021, while giving quite a suggestive reason as to why she'd be doing so, and that is to focus on making NFTs, which evidently created a lot of drama.
最近でもメタバースとか NFT とか難しそうだけど、そういうものをもっと身近に届けて、みんなと新しい楽しいを体験したり。
Alright, now that I've got your attention, I can drop the fucking sunny V2 accent. Just so I can tell you that this video is sponsored by Raid. Hold on. If you thought I was gonna say Shadow Legends, a free-to-play mobile hero collection RPG with over 650 complete unique characters and tons of awesome bosses to take on, then you're as predictable as when my hamster found out his cage was unlocked. Anyway, we're talking about Raid Call of the Arbiter, which is Raid's very own anime, Shun. It's a limited series that expands on the world and lore of Raid, so you can learn more about the backstories of champions you see and play in the game. I checked it out myself, along with the other 5 million people watching. God, I wish I had those numbers. And honestly, I'm invested. Episode 1 focuses on the story of Gallic, and the very tough decision he has to make to either side with his fellow orcs, or to stand up for the innocent farmers that they're pillaging and plundering. I won't spoil too much, but the episode as a whole was actually pretty sad and also wholesome in a sense. And on top of that, the animation goes hard. I frankly did not expect this level of quality. The animation style reminds me of like Arcane in a way. It's crazy good. Episode 2 also picks up right where we left off in episode 1, so it's totally bingeable. New episodes come out every Thursday at 10 AM EST until July 20th. And the best part is, it's free! You can watch it in-game or on YouTube, where Raid also is releasing lore videos and behind-the-scenes content. But don't think that these two things are mutually exclusive. Raid Shadow Legends also has a bunch of Call of the Arbiter related features, like new champions, more lore connected to the series, and a whole lot of activities you can still take part in. So if you're a Raid fan, or even someone who played it ages ago but dropped it, you've got a lot of things to be excited about. All you have to do is log into Raid for 7 days between now and July 24th, and you'll get a chance to get the legendary character Artak for free! And if you haven't started playing Raid yet, I highly suggest you use my link in the description, or scan my QR code to get insane bonuses. And just cause it's you, I'll throw in the epic champion Knight Errant and other useful things to help you out. Once you're all good to go, come find me under the name Raid Karu. Thanks to Raid for sponsoring this video. Now back to whatever the future dingus wants to say. So in December 2021, Kizuna Ai decided to go on hiatus. The reason being that, in her words, she wanted to connect with everyone in the world. Now the reason why she, or more accurately, the entire company running her model, decided that NFTs were the best way of doing that is a bit of a leap in logic. I mean, she could just, I don't know, turn on the internet. But despite what I said at the start of the video, it's worth noting that this is all speculation. Active 8, the company that owns Kizuna Ai, never actually said outright, hey, we're going to sell NFTs. It feels more like that time you tried to confess to your crush, but you didn't have the balls to say it, so you do the, well, what would you say if I did say I liked you? Either way, I can't judge them harshly on things they didn't do. And given the like to dislike ratio on the video, and comments like, she referred to NFTs because it's a trendy thing to do, not because she's trying to sell you something, it tells us that people weren't too mad about the idea. Until they were. Not long after the announcement, countless of VTuber Keemstars began reporting about it, and were absolutely disgusted by this move from Kizuna Ai. NFTs? Ew, yuck, gross. So not everyone was on board, and it left a sour note in the mouths of some Kizuna Ai fans. But this was 2021 news. Almost 2 years have passed since the incident, and to their credit, the company actually made a statement on the Kizuna Ai website, stating that they are not involved in activities that promote the transfer of crypto assets. And to my knowledge, no such NFTs of Kizuna Ai were actually sold after the announcement, so it's safe to assume that Active 8 probably heard the backlash from fans and our sexy, broad-shouldered internet warriors, and decided to stop pursuing NFTs as a whole. Until they didn't. Cause almost 2 years later, Active 8 releases an anime that features a bunch of young aspiring VTubers. I'll talk about the actual anime later, but the thing that bothered the 3 people who watched the show was that at the end of one of the episodes, the main character suddenly starts explaining the concept of an NFT.
デジタルアートの鑑定書や証明書としても優れているんです。
Which, if you couldn't imagine, was pretty jarring to a lot of people. Comments like,
"Bruh, they really shoved NFTs into this?"
NFTs is still a thing? I thought that went away after the crypto crash. People still want to pay thousands of dollars for a link to a JPEG?
were almost unanimously typed in forums, and multiple tweets and videos were made about it online. There were people, however, who believed that this wasn't an outright NFT shill, and more so, simply an explanation of the term NFT that has nothing to do with the anime. Now, you can decide for yourself whether or not you agree, but I never intended this video to be an objective news source, cause I think, 1, this shit is stupid, and 2, it's extremely hilarious. So I'm gonna share my opinion. Look, let's be real. Clearly the company isn't gonna start dropping Kizuna Ai NFTs mid-episode like a YouTuber in their merch line. That's too obvious. But it's still a significant lapse in judgment to assume that people weren't going to get mad about you even mentioning the term in your anime. I personally think they're doing the same thing as they did before, where they make an announcement related to NFTs, see how people react before deciding to go through with it or not. But what's funny to me is that they saw it fail miserably once, despite NFTs still being hot and not a word you get cancelled for in 2021, compared to now where its popularity has significantly declined and they still think, nah, you know what? This time for sure. I just know it. Oh yeah, and I purposefully withheld this information for dramatic effect. Remember that company statement they made before? Well, 3 months before that statement, in September 2021, Kizuna Ai collaborated with Meta Annie, a cryptographic art project, to sell designs of whatever the f***s, wearing her iconic Pyoko Pyoko ribbon. So yeah, technically they never sold any Kizuna Ai NFTs after this statement was made, but they most certainly did before it. But NFTs aren't the only thing that made this anime controversial, because the show itself is controversially terrible. So we start off with Miracle, right? She's an aspiring VTuber with big dreams to become just like her idol Ai. Sure, whatever. We're introduced to the world she lives in, and honestly, I thought the setting was pretty cool. Mainly because I'm a huge nerd and it reminded me a lot of a game I used to play called Mega Man Star Force. She even jacks into the mainframe of the VTubing space by entering this portal, so at least that gets points from me. The only points from me. Almost everything else was exceptionally lackluster. For example, all the characters can be distilled into one character trope. I'm the dumb MC that everyone likes because I have determination. I'm the emotionless monotone robot who wants to feel something. I'm the preppy bitch. I didn't even watch the show further to know who these two are. But even then, I really wanted to look past the one-dimensional characters had their dialogues not been so fucking boring. Every encounter these two have is filled with, hey, I'm feeling pretty sad. Yeah, you're feeling pretty sad. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty sad. But it's okay. Everyone's sad at one point. Yeah, you're right. They didn't even try. These lines felt like they were AI generated, and at that point, I'd rather watch AI gen SpongeBob.
Hi, Squidward!
August 12, 2036. Death of the universe. August 12, 2036.
The story itself was also pretty uninteresting. It's basically just them competing on who can sing and dance the best to qualify for the VTuber award show. I won't harp on it too much because some people might actually like that concept. It really just wasn't for me. But one thing that I think most people are glossing over is the fact that Wit Studio was the one that animated this series. Yeah, that Wit Studio. Attack on Titan Vinland Saga Ranking of Kings Wit Studio. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty disappointed because the animation was actually decent. The character designs are cute, the world looks okay, and you can clearly see that a fair amount of effort was put into making this shit look nice. But it really falls flat when you pair it with the characters and dialogue. They also do this very unique thing where they incorporate the character's own 3D models when they do a performance. I think this is actually done by a lot of VTubers, not only Kizuna Ai, and it's clearly intentional because every episode has at least one live performance. So to say it isn't at least innovative with its presentation would be a disservice to the anime. I want to postface this by saying that I don't hate Kizuna Ai or the company running her model. I frankly don't give a shit. But they made an announcement a couple months back detailing the projects that they're currently working on, and I think it gives a clearer picture of what's been happening surrounding the company. So 1, obviously, Kizuna Ai, 2, Love-chan, 3, KZN, Allele, which is basically the characters from the anime, but on YouTube. They're pretty much like an idol group, and I think this was the reason for making the anime in the first place, as a marketing stunt to introduce these characters as a group so that you can follow them well after the show has ended. But keep in mind that this is only buzz that's coming from the West. God forbid that there are countries outside of America. So I don't actually know the sentiment that Japan and Japanese people have towards this news. You do the research for yourself if you're interested. I have more anime to watch. But yeah, I'm just trying a new style of content that's more news related and less focused on an entire anime being the video. Now go dance your way to that subscribe button, like and comment your thoughts on what you just watched, and let me know if you agree or disagree with me. That's it. Bye.